just do next. Then what category? Senior category, next. And then you see that it's taking me straight down to senior based on the branching that was configured, right? Hi everyone, I hope you are doing very well today. Thank you for coming on the screen today. My name is Joseph. If you are new to this channel, my face is what you have on the screen, and I am happy to bring to you a topic on how to create a computer-based test using a free Microsoft account. So stay tuned. I'm going to have you cover sessions, branching in Microsoft Forms today. So just listen and I'll follow through gradually. So let's get started. So this is my free Microsoft accounts that are signed in using my Gmail. So if I come to office.com, say I type office.com and I launch this, I'm going to have this app launcher here, the 9 dots up here. So if I click on it, I'm going to see Microsoft Forms or Forms as one of the applications that come with a free tier of accounts, right? So I can decide to use this, or I can just go straight to forms.office.com. So it's same thing, I'll still land at the same place. So when you get to forms.office.com, you have two options. You have the option to create a form, and you also have the option to create a quiz. So because we are using a computer-based test today, we are going to be using the option of quiz. So looking at this, it can be used for questionnaires and all of those, for surveys and all of that. But for the quiz, it is used centrally for, as the name implies, for quizzes, for computer-based exams. So I'm just going to call this computer-based test. That's what I would call it. Okay. So if I call it that, computer-based test, is there D? You can correct me in the comment section, okay? So computer-based test, that is the name of the form that we are creating. So we are going to have some preliminary questions that will come in form of, so I'll first of all have to explain all this to you. So for choice question is where you have multiple options, and then you have to select one or multiple answers depending on how it is being configured. I will show you how to do multiple option and for single option. Then for text-based question is where you actually have to type in what your responses are, and then you have the rating. Rating is actually used to give feedback on your experience. Then you're talking about the date type is when you're going to select dates in terms of months, day, and year, right? For ranking is when you have to switch, or arrange questions in a kind of logical flow. Then this comes with the link art, and then you have the net promoter, which we are going to see. This is like you're trying to recommend friends to come to, how likely are you to recommend something to someone. We're going to see how all this work. Then for session, actually is for you to create session, as the name implies. So I want to create the first session, and I just want to call that bio. Let me just call it biography, or let me just call it simple bio. So bio will include the questions that we'll have in bio will just be name of the candidates, and then the second will just be email address of candidates. That's all, right? That we are taking from that. Okay, so we want to create the next one, and I want to make that a session, and then this session I'll call it categories, and that category, we're going to have two categories. The first category, we're going to make it choice options, and then the first category is going to be we're going to say what is your category. Then we have, in this kind of scenario, we'll have the junior, and then we'll have the senior category. Okay, so that's how we are designing this. So the reason I'm bringing out this is because we're going to do branching, right, to see how we are going to have this flow into another, so now we are going to add a session, and then we are going to call that session we're going to call that junior. So what it means is that it is those who are in the junior category that we see the questions that we are going to be asking here, junior. Okay, so we're going to add the first question, and that's going to be a multi-choice question. And the first question there is just simple as what is the capital of Nigeria? That is just it. There's no P here, so put it back. What is the capital of Nigeria? And we have options here, and then the first option here is this. The second option here is this. The third option. So for you to add more options, so what you do is you just click on add option, and then you can paste your question, your option, and then the fourth one will just be this for the fourth option. Okay, so now another point is you now have to come here to select which is the correct answer. That is what forms is automatically going to check for you as the correct answer, but the respondent or the student isn't going to see what you checked. Okay, so take note. And then another point is, what point do you want to allocate to this question? Let's say we are just giving this question 1 point, right? Then if there are questions that have multiple answers, which I will explain in the next questions, then you can toggle this on so that it can have multiple responses. You can see this is changing to box, right? And then that will ask you what the limit of questions or responses you want them to give to this. Are there 2 options maximum or so? But we are going to have this as a singular response, just one. It's just one, state that can be the capital of a country, right? Which is in this case Abuja. So we're just going to the next question, and it is saying it's an open-ended question, which is going to be describe your hobbies and all of those. So for that kind of question, so what you use actually is for you to use a text kind of question, like a text kind of question, which is what we are pasting here. Describe your favorite hobby or activity in a few sentences. So if it's a few sentences, it means it may just be short now. So for us to make it a long response, we are going to turn this on. Okay, so once this is turned on, what it means is that the user has almost an unlimited response to give, and it will contain that. Okay, so the next question will be the third question in the junior category, and that is a date type of question, and it's saying when did the First World War stop? When did the First World War stop? So we're just going to put it at date time, and then we are going to put it at this, and then we'll paste the question here. So I think I'm going to remove this. Yeah, when did the first? So this is over for the junior session. We want to now create for the senior session. So what we do, just come here and then we'll call this session senior. Okay, so the first question in the senior session, we have we have a rank kind of question, and then we are coming here, say ranking is the kind of question that we want to have the first, and then the question is rank the following programming language. I'll paste it now and you will see what question we have there. Let's just highlight this and then right click and then say paste. So it's saying rank the following programming language in the order of their preference. So what is the first language that I have here? Copy. I have this, paste, and then the next one I have second one here, the second language here, paste. Then let's take the third one, and that's gonna be, guess what? Guess, that is it. So, and then we'll have the last but not the least. What is that going to be? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? So have it. So it's Java. So it's telling you to arrange this in the order, and how many points we want to give for this. Maybe we just want to give 3 points. Okay, do we want it to be a required question? So what it means is that, do we want user to, that is it compulsory for users or for students to give response to this before they can move on. We don't want to make any question compulsory. So we're just going to move on to the next question. And the next question is going to be a text kind of question. Let me just check. So the next question is, what is cloud computing? So that is going to be a text kind of question. So we're just going to move it now, copy, and then we just come here to say a text kind of question. We're just going to paste it, text, where are you, text. And then we have this option here, paste. What is cloud computing? And then we'll make it a long text so that they can provide a long response to that. And then this is which among these are, so this is where you have multiple response to question, which among these is a computer brand, or which among these are computer brands. Let's see, we want to put it at choice, but this time we want to make it multiple answer. Okay, so we're just going to put the question here and we can correct it, which among these are computer brands. And that's a question mark here. So what we do is for us to put on this, and then what are those options we have? We have Dell, then we have HP, we have Dell, paste, we have HP, and then we have what? Copy, we have this, and then we have this. Okay, so let's minimize. We have Dell, excuse me, we have HP, add option, we have this, and then we have this. Where are you? This. Okay, so from what is here, the answers to this are this and this, right? So they have been selected, so they are going to be pointing towards the correct answers. Okay, so I think we have the last session, which is the feedback session. So we're just going to call that session feedback. Okay, so that's the feedback session, and we have two types of questions. They will have rating. So we're going to say rate your experience with your mentor or instructor, right? Let's put instructor. Okay, so that's correct now. So and then the next one is about this, which is net promoter score. So it is saying, how likely are you to recommend us to a friend? You can edit it as it pleases you. Do you want it to be compulsory? Of course, for now, no. So the very important thing I need to explain to you here is about branching. So for session 2, I want it to be that if you are in junior category, you can only see questions that belong to the junior class. And then if you are in senior, you should only see questions that are to the senior class. So what you do, you click on this, and then you click on these 3 dots here, and then you click on add branching. So what add branching does is, I'm going to say if you are in junior school or if you are in junior category, you should only be able to see the junior questions. Okay, and then if you are in senior class, you should only be able to see senior questions. Now if that is the case, then where do you go next? After you've done that, you should go to feedback, right? That is for the junior category. Then if we come down to this place also, then we should be able to access feedback, and then from here as well we should be heading towards feedback, right? And then from this end we should go to the end of form. So this is set already, so we have the branching. We can go back and then we'll have this sign here showing that we have branching existing on this form. Now these are the other settings that you need to do. Coming to this place, you can set the duration that you want this test to take. So you can set duration. You can say this is just a very small test. Come on, let's do that in 20 minutes. 10 minutes is too small. Let's do it in 20 minutes. 10 minutes is even fine, but let's just do it in 20 minutes. But there are other settings I need to show you, which are, for example, do you want to automatically start the test at a certain date, that is open the link to the users and then close it at a particular time, or you want to stop accepting responses at one point. But let's say that set duration is for 10 minutes. Let's not scatter everything again. 10 minutes, 0 here. And then, do you want the questions to be shuffled? If there are more, you have option to shuffle the question. Then disable question number or respondent, show progress bar, just so when they are responding to the question, they will see the extent that they have gone and what is remaining for them. The progress bar showing the get email notification to me that is creating the form when this user fill the form. Maybe I don't want to do that for now. Hide submit response. Yeah, hide submit another response, so that once the user is done submitting, there is no other option for the user again to start responding again. Then customer thank you message, we can customize it. We can say okay, we can say thank you for taking part in the test, and then we can say you will hear back from us. Okay, all right, so that's done. We can just quickly come back here, and another very important thing that we just want to do maybe is to do to bring in an image just to make it look nice. So we want to upload an image. I have a very beautiful image here that I call CBT, so that's just going to pop it up on the screen, and then we can preview what we have customized and see if it is going to work according to what we have designed. So come on, load up. So let's, yeah, it's here already. So let's do a preview and see how it's going to look on the PC. It's going to look this way. On the mobile, it's going to look as beautiful as this. I think it's nice, computer-based test. And then it's just saying this is a timed test. Once you start, you will not be able to pause and all of that. So let's just come back to this place and we click on, so how do you get the link across to the candidates? So you just do collect responses, and then you can do a shortened URL, and then you copy this link. You can email it to the users, but what I want us to do right now is to respond on this link. I'm also going to leave this link on the video description so that you can also respond to the test. So I just want us to see how the flow will be for the branching, right? So we can just do click to start, and then our time start counting from 10 minutes downwards, and it is saying bio, it is saying what is your name? My name is Joseph Afiso. Then what is my email address? afiso@gbdistis.com. No problem, just random, right? Then we can do next, and then this brings us to the categories. What is your category? I'm in junior category. So what's the next thing? Next is going to bring me to junior, right? And say what is the capital of Nigeria, and I will say Abuja. And then it will say describe your favorite hobby. I'll just do a random text here, and then it says when did the First World War stop? I just maybe pick something, right? And then I do next. I move on straight to the feedback session. I just do this and I say yes, and I submit. If I view my results, it's going to say, okay, this is what you submitted as your name and all of that. And then the category, what is your category? I'm in junior category, and I got this correctly because this is a text. It needs a human being to evaluate. This will be reviewed by the examiner, and for this is this, right? So I saw these questions. Let's now also paste and see that being in senior session, what am I going to have? The link, I also still have it copied. What am I doing? Okay, so let me just right click and I will see paste. I think I still have the link here. Yeah. So so I just want to do next. In this case, I just want to call it. Okay, so that is the name of the respondent, and then okay, so that's the email address of this user, entering his name, and then it will just do next. Then what category? Senior category, next. And then you see that it's taking me straight down to senior based on the branching that was configured, right? So I will have option to flip. Of course, I know that Python is the is the master of them all here. So maybe I just want to move JavaScript here. I mean, yeah, maybe I just want to move all of this, right? And then it's asking me what is cloud computing, and just define cloud computing with a random text. And here, of course, because I have option to include multiple options, and it's saying which among these are computer brands, and then I know it's Dell, and I know it's HP, right? So I'll do next, and of course you see me going straight to the feedback session, and I will just say 5, and I will say okay, this one 4, right? And then I'll do submit. So this form goes submitted to the form owner. Now let us see what we would have here. It is saying right here that we have 2 responses, and who are the respondents. So if you view answers, you're going to see that 2 people, which are Joseph, and this is his email address, and is in junior category. He has submitted, and then these are his scores, right? And then the next person is this guy who is having this email address, and these are his responses, right? Now coming to check this report, you can just export the Excel sheet directly, and you can look at it right in one page instead of clicking up and down on the Excel sheet. So isn't it wonderful that you can do this with just having Microsoft account without paying a dime? I guess it's wonderful, right? So if you have any issues while trying to replicate this on your own environment, especially as it has to do with branching and all of those, they can be very confusing at times. If you need me to support you to get this done, of course you can reach out to me, but I promise you that you can always do CBT tests seamlessly without having to go through the hassle of going for applications that you don't even know how they run. So thank you very much. If you stick to this end, it means that you enjoyed the video. Make sure you give it a like, and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. Thank you and have a great day. Peace.